Thank you for coming to this interview. We've been informed that you already have experience in startups accelerating in Singapore, and now you are having a really huge responsibility to run the startup projects in Vietnam. Can you tell me about your experience running startups in Singapore, and what is the key differences between business environments in Singapore and Vietnam?
Okay. Thank you for having me. It's a really great pleasure to be here. I think just in my experience, I have been a startup founder myself. So I've ran two startup companies. One went well, one failed. I've also personally participated in startup programs. So I was a founder institute graduate in Singapore in 2010, and then I also joined in 2012 as a startup being accelerated by JFDI Asia. So I was with the first batch of startups with alongside companies like TradeGecko, Flocations. So I've been through the journey myself as a startup, and also later joined JFDI as a lean startup coach. I helped them create their online course, mentored over 1,000 entrepreneurs across Southeast Asia. And towards the later part of 2015, 2016, I was helping them with their as a entrepreneur in residence, working on innovation projects with corporate clients like Bosch and Manulife. So I think my own journey going through the whole experience as a founder and then a program manager in an accelerator gave me an insight on what worked and what didn't work. And then when Mr. Duc from FPT approached me along with Hugh from Dragon Capital to run VISA, I think it's a very exciting opportunity, and I think Accelerator makes a lot of sense in Vietnam right now, because we want to build not just companies, but we also want to build people. Accelerators educate people, not just entrepreneurs, but universities, government officials, investors, right? And all these things actually are very important if you want to create a very vibrant ecosystem in Vietnam. On to the question about Singapore and Vietnam, I think we are two different countries, but very closely intertwined, right? Well, both in ASEAN. Just as the bigger prospects of business in general, we have a lot of Singapore companies investing in Vietnam. There's also a lot of Vietnamese who are working in Singapore as well. So I think through accelerator program like this, what I've seen is a lot of Vietnamese who are working in Singapore. They are wanting to contribute as mentors to VISA, and a lot of Singapore investors are also interested to see how they can help, right? And we also have a Singapore startup that applied to VISA because they want to expand their business here. And on the other hand, we also are also helping Vietnamese companies to go global, right? How do you expand to Singapore? How do you market your company in English, right? Being a global brand. So I think there are a lot that we all can learn together. And me as a Singaporean living in Saigon right now, I think it's really exciting to see that we can connect both countries and grow together.
Talking about business, right now business is not only within a country or between two countries. Right now we have competitors from around the world, especially for those like information startups, like high-tech startup, apps, application like that. What do you think is the biggest advantage and challenge to those how say programs developers, like the one I see is like Butterfly, the Resist like that, WeFit like that. What is it?
Yep. So I think the bigger challenge of all businesses in Southeast Asia is that Southeast Asia is just so different, right? When people look at 650 million people, it looks like a big number. But then if you look at the 10, 11 countries, they're all very different. And the challenge is that we are all different. So if you look at companies in Vietnam, even if they're building for Vietnam, it is 90 million people. It looks a lot, right? But if you look down on your business models in terms of how much exactly can you monetize, right? And if the monetization is really, really small, that is a challenge, because it means it takes a long time for this business to make money. Yeah. However, I think with the advantage of technology, we can grow a lot faster, a lot cheaper at this current moment for startups. But what we are also helping them see is to learn from other people, learn from the competitors, right? And think beyond just Vietnam. So I think that's where it's really varies from business to business. So companies like With It, we really like them because they can go deep, go in Vietnam, expand, and prioritize and focus and create new product lines that can be catered to your home audience, whom you know the most. But other businesses, we can encourage them to go big, right? Like B2B, like companies like Use Data that's on our portfolio. I think you don't have to be in Vietnam to use that. You can grow global, and Vietnam can be a very good base for your business. So I think what we bring to the table is we connect the startups to mentors who already have business expertise in these markets, so we can help the founders prioritize and grow quickly.
Okay, so what's the biggest contribution you think the Vietnamese startups or Vietnamese entrepreneurs can contribute to this community? And for example, like in Singapore, you already have a very good infrastructure, like harbors, contractors, so you can go very fast on like building network system, security, blah blah. So, and what can Vietnam contribute to this community? We can say like ASEAN or global community.
Well, I thought long and hard about this question, and the very reason I'm here is because I'm attracted to Vietnam for the same kind of reasons, right? That a lot of businesses are looking to Vietnam. So yes, it's true that in Singapore we can build infrastructure really, really fast, right? We can, set a bank account really quickly. We can, have a lot of funding for startups. But the challenge that Singapore faces is the manpower constraint. We don't have enough people, and our market is too small, right? On the flip side, Vietnam has a lot to offer, right? You have a very high literacy rate, a lot of talented engineers, and then you also have a secret power, which is your VietQs, right? VietQ, right? Your Vietnamese overseas that are coming back, right? I think if you think about that, right, besides Israel, where a lot of Jews come back to contribute to Israel, which other country actually have a diaspora that's highly educated, rediscovering their identity, right? That either your parents or your grandparents have left the country and coming back to embrace it, right? So, for example, Lam from Wise Pass in our portfolio is an example of that, right? Ex-Googler, came back, want to build something here. So I think Vietnam is very interesting in the sense that the demographics are right, and then there's a lot of confidence right now that we can create something, and it's something that that people feel, I can do something, right? I can create something, and it inspires me as well as a Singaporean being here, that I feel younger and I feel more energetic, because it's contagious, and I think that's what you need if you want to do startups, right? You need to be able to dream. When the goings get tough, when you're running out of money in the bank, you still need to stay positive. So I think all these factors included, and I think Vietnam has a lot to offer in terms of global startups.
Thank you for answering our interview.
Thank you so much.